Yeah, that's this is that, you know, a little inside scoop, a little behind the scenes action for our fucking like miserable ability to do audio mixing. Well,
Dude,
anyway,
I feel like I got a system that is going to be totally fine. Like I set up everything that I do. I have templates for podcast episodes with just you and me. I got some with you, me, a guest, two guests, whatever. And I have all of the tracks routing, all of the so I have the EQs on each of the like child tracks, and then I have the
mhm.
like the de-essing, and I have a lot of the normalization on the parent track to that, and then I have the master track with shit. I'm forgetting all the effects that I added to everything. But the important thing is that I can just open up the templates, and I'm never gonna have to think about the shit again. And all I'm realistically gonna have to do is drag around like two or three like in the Marie episodes,
Mhm.
her voice needed a different EQ than ours.
Yeah, it makes sense because she's a girl. I can see that.
Yeah. And she sounded a lot better with like the highs boosted a little bit. And if we applied the same as we did for us to her, then she started sounding sort of like a, like a nasally, a burly, like a thick and robust woman. And I didn't think it did her
Yeah, you don't want to
dainty,
have. Yeah, exactly.
dainty
Her dainty
persona
demeanor.
that good of. Yeah, it was really fucking her over, right? I thought I was misrepresenting her. So we changed that some.
That's smart. Yeah, you put a little more inverted of the version of the EQ. That's smart.
I think there's probably a way that you could take like any random person's voice and EQ it and make them sound like 50% more attractive.
Oh, for sure.
That's something
100%.
that we should play. Like if I ever really care, I'm going to sit down for like a 12-hour period. I'm going to have like, I don't know. I'm not going to sit down with coffee. What else?
You don't drink coffee?
I'm trying to think of what I can use as like.
Wait, you don't
sort
drink
of,
coffee?
Like,
You don't seem like you're. You
no,
don't
I
seem
don't.
like
Like I don't have any like
Of course you don't drink
stimulant
coffee.
drug shit ever.
Oh, is it? Oh, would you consider that? I guess it is a stimulant.
I'll sit down with some nice rhodiola capsules. And
What the fuck is a rhodiola capsule?
it's like an adaptogen. It's
I guess it is stimulant, right? So that makes sense. So you wouldn't do like green tea or anything like that either. Anything with caffeine whatsoever. You're just like full Mormon pilled.
yeah, and it's not necessarily because I am like really scared of the amount of caffeine in green tea or anything, as much as it is that I am just like,
Don't make exceptions, and then.
well, it's not even no. It's just that I am really lazy, and the benefit that I get out of like green tea is not enough to outweigh having to make the tea, right?
Interesting. I like the ritual of coffee. I am now also a slave to the bean, so it's a trade off.
Do you want to know like the most ridiculous thing that I had my last coffee phase ended when I wound up getting really into it. I found like a nice local guy who was roasting all the beans himself. He would give me great deals on the stuff. And it ended when I realized that it was more efficient to just eat the coffee beans he was giving me instead of brew coffee.
What the fuck do you mean eat the coffee beans?
Right.
Are you serious right now?
With a bag of the coffee beans in my pocket. And I just,
oh my God, you're a menace to society. What the fuck? Who the fuck does that?
And at some point I was like, actually, this is
insane behavior.
The enamel on my teeth, right? I've
Oh,
got
that's
to
also
stop
true.
doing this.
Yeah, that's insane behavior, though. I'm glad that you stopped. You're not allowed to drink coffee anymore. I understand.
My coworkers really thought that one was weird.
Yeah, you do some weird shit. But hey, no, this is how you need to be doing weird shit in order to get to the heights of posting and the heights of charisma, I guess.
I think honestly that doing weird shit is something that like everybody else feels bounded, right? They consume coffee and they feel bounded by consuming it through the medium by which everyone else does. But when you have someone who is antisocial and contrarian enough, they don't really care about the bounding on their coffee, right?
True.
So they look at all of the different aspects of it and they say, how could we consume this in a more efficient manner? And then the answer obviously is just eat the beans.
Yeah, I mean, I guess no, I'm not fucking eating the beans. I'm not even going to entertain this thought. But I was going to say, regarding what we were saying before about making people's voices more attractive, I know that to some degree what we're doing already, it is making my voice more attractive because I've never had anyone say in real life, oh, your voice is nice. In fact, girls, I remember being on like dates and the way I post is obviously the way I write is obviously more aggressive than I am in person. Right. So I would do like apps or like online dating or something back in the day. We're not back in the day, like whatever, however long ago. And
back in the day,
back in the day,
6
like a
months
year ago, 6 months ago,
Yeah.
a year ago. But then they would meet me. And one of the first things they would always like, I'd always watch like their eyes, just like their face like change and go, oh, you're like, once they hear my voice, because it's not when they see me. Aesthetically, I'm like what they expected. When I talk, they're like, oh, you're a fucking nerd. Got it. So there's something, there's something going. I thought you were going to be a dickhead, but no, you're like, you're a nerd. So there's something with my actual voice in person that is disarming.
I did notice that when I take down like the 250 to like 300 hertz range in your voice, it totally changes the character of it.
Yeah. And it's like, maybe it's more, I don't know what it is. It's more like whatever. It's more grizzled here on the pod. But like but like more than one girl has been like, oh, I really like your voice. If they listen to my voice first on the podcast, I've gotten compliments on my voice from people listening to my podcast, never in person.
Do you think you could like psyop one? Do you think you could like take a girl and you introduce her to your voice through the podcast where you've EQ'd your voice, and then you meet her in real life and it just transfers over, and she totally assumes that it has to be the same? Like she doesn't even hear the difference. Like you pull the old switcheroo on.
Oh no, this is what's happening. I think that this is why I have a girlfriend now. This is she thinks my voice is really nice, and it's definitely from the podcast.
Did you start listening to the podcast before she met you?
She heard my voice, on the podcast before she met me, yeah.
That's so absurd, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah. So also but cats out of the bag. Y'all
should start a fucking podcast. It gets you girlfriends.
Yeah. Cats out of the bag. The incel posters are not incels.
We're reproducing. We're out here. We're out here, and we're procreating. There's going to be more of us soon. Watch out.
It's fucking crazy because it's, we always get called incels. In fact, I see it all the time on the timeline. People are like, oh, they're incel podcasts. Yeah, guess what? We're not incels anymore. We're fucking Chad cells. All right.
I feel like on the podcast, we don't even like
we don't seem incel at all.
We keep all of our incel content mostly to the timeline. And then on the podcast, we talk about like work and like our girlfriends and like how we do like electrical wiring on our houses and shit.
Yeah, that's for sure. We have really a super like normie older dude podcast.
Yeah, like this about it. we're let's talk about health insurance and pretending that we're your uncle.
Yeah, actually, basically. Yeah, let's talk about health insurance and doing electrical wiring.
Yeah, literally, it's like the most, hey guys, Uncle Lucas here, back with another 10 tips they won't teach you in elementary school.
I mean, shit,
this is a W-2.
Yeah, right? I'm going to teach you how to do your fucking taxes. I don't want to think about taxes, actually. I'm going to prison. If the podcast ends suddenly, it's because I'm going to prison. I'm telling you.
Bro,
oh, man.
See, the trick to avoid going to prison through like avoiding capital gains tax and the IRS coming after you is obviously lose much more money than you put in, right? So if you do that, like I don't have to worry, but like I could have fucked up my taxes so bad. But the IRS, they're not coming for me, bro. They know they know what went out and they know what came back in. And they are not
they're not fucking
they are not going to be chasing me down for this bag, man.
Unfortunately, I did not get fucked as much as I thought I did. So that sucks. So now I'm going to
good, I guess. I mean,
it's like good to some degree.
You'd prefer to lose 30% than 100.
I don't have the money that they want, I'm sure. So I'm probably going to be
for real. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because like the thing is, like,
were you one of the guys who sold out and then they said put your money aside for taxes and then you didn't?
No, this is more like I didn't. I really I have a lot of profit from like NFT trading and stuff. And also, I got paid in crypto, which I forgot. And they count like USD coin as like crypto, like it's like
capital so every gains. Time you transact USD coin, they consider it to be a capital gains worthy.
And that's the part that's fucking me specifically. But then also like I didn't make as much of a loss in NFT trading as I would have expected. And I didn't lose at all, really. I made like basically break even. So I got fucked. Did you
see that the Donald Trump NFTs?
Oh, dude, I actually was gonna buy them.
I got one. I got one just for the meme, and I made like $1,000 off of it.
Oh, fuck yeah!
Yeah, like it was really stupid.
What did it sell for?
I sold it for like 0.7 something.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Yeah, I mean, like I figured they were gonna pop off. It's just that
I didn't
After,
think they were going to pop off at all, man. I got it because I was like, this is
oh
so
really?
fucking silly.
The only reason I didn't do it is because I'm already thinking about all the fuck. I don't want to increase my capital gains, capital gains tax even more. That's the only thing stopping me.
I was just thinking about how funny it would be to be like one of the people who paid money for Donald Trump's NFT collection. Like I paid $100 basically for that privilege because I thought it would be extremely funny, right? Like,
yeah, it is pretty funny. I mean, I think it's the funniest.
It was the most transparent bullshit nonsense grift I think anybody has ever done in the crypto space. Like, did you see the thing about how he stole the assets from other NFT projects and like stock photo sites and stuff, and he didn't even like properly scrub the watermarks. So there's like multiple of them where you can go and you can see like the like istock.com watermark.
Nice. I kind of love that, honestly.
It's so fucking funny.
I actually think his is actually the funniest NFT ever. Like objectively the funniest one, because everyone tries to make like crypto
art too. Like it literally looks like one of those things that people pumped out in like 2 weeks with some random Fiverr developer, and they just like put the contract up to see if anyone was dumb enough to buy it. Like it looks so bad.
That's literally, and also it's on Polygon. That's probably the most successful Polygon NFT ever. Unironically, that's probably like the number one Polygon NFT.
45,000 for like 100 each, right?
Yeah, just like
which is even funnier because like, what's the point of that?
I mean, it's liquid cash. That's the point is really just that he gets liquid cash for whatever the fuck.
But it's like $4 million, right? Like, why does Donald Trump care about $4 million?
Well, was it billions? Like he probably has like a billion or something around there. But like a lot of it would be like held up in like real estate or in like equity and shit like that.
But doesn't he have like 10? Like I refuse to believe the guy doesn't have a couple hundred liquid million just lying around.
I would think realistically probably has like
in the market right now, like everybody who's like remotely financially savvy that I know for the last 2 years has been like 80% totally liquid assets.
Oh, you know what I will say though? He had a really, really high royalty. So every time it trades, he gets 10%.
It's 10%.
So that's actually
his royalty is fucking 10%.
I've never seen that before in my life. So that's probably what it really is. It's like a never-ending stream of like income off the trades. Because 10% royalty on the volume of the first presidential NFT is like kind of ridiculous.
The first presidential NFT,
which is why I knew it was going to pump. Because like this is one of those like don't midwit it moments. It's like dumb people, smart people. Like it's the first NFT from a president ever, and it's Donald Trump of all people. So it's just gonna pump. I mean, if it wasn't on Polygon, situations
where I didn't think about it at all beyond like, would this be funny to buy? And had I thought about it as like a vehicle for financial investment, I might have played this quite a lot differently.
Yeah. See, I now that I've done enough NFT trading, the move is trust your like for NFTs, unlike with crypto, like I feel like with crypto, you have to make a little more of like a mental decision. With NFTs, it's like trust your first initial gut reaction, like that stupid, like absolutely no common sense part of yourself. And that's usually what works. Right? Huh. Is this like if I ever look at an NFT and go, oh, I fucking hate this, or if it gives me some kind of emotional response, that's when I buy it. And this one I would have bought if I wasn't worried about taxes. So I saw this one pumping. I didn't do it, so it doesn't really matter what I'm saying. You should have
told me to do more, man. I'm feeling pissed off. I'm not more exposed.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking how much it pumped. It pumped more than I thought it would have done in the first day. So now I'm mad, but
that pump was insane.
Yeah,
it literally was like a 10x, bro. Like
10x in one day is actually pissing me off because fuck taxes. I'll take taxes for a single day 10x. I'm already fucked anyway.
Well, and I'm sitting here and I have all my money stabled out. Like I literally could have gone and got like just a fucking bucket full of these things. Yeah, like I know way more than a dozen.
Yeah, I mean, and you fucking loaded.
I could have. Yeah.
That's the thing with them.
I mean, we don't need to talk.
Like if you bought a fuck ton, of them,
I could have paid my entire house off with the amount that I have just sitting in like various wallets, and it would have been like a moderate play. Like it would have been like a very casual gamble.
Consider the following: like if you did do it though, it's not going to pump. You know what I mean? Like if you put like 20, if you put like 20K into fucking Donald Trump NFTs, they won't pump. That's kind of the thing with NFTs.
So I put I actually, and this is funny because you're so right, because I played it perfectly because I only had one. I bought at mint and I sold it at like 0.7 something, which wound up being like the top of the next peak.
Yes.
And it's lower than that now by like 50% or something.
Oh, I might.
And like, I never in a million years would have done that if I had 500 of them.
Exactly.
If I had 500 of them, I would have done something extremely stupid, like sit there and say, okay, we just have to wait another month. We just have to keep waiting. And I wouldn't have sold any of them.
I'm a big fan of the 2 NFT rule. Doesn't matter what it is, you buy 2 of them. You buy, and that way you have enough that you can like fuck up and sell one too early and still hold one. Like I would just feel I just do the best with 2. And then I also like only buy NFTs I can buy 2 of. And I always find like you don't paper hand them, you don't sell them too soon. And if you do, you're like, oh, I sold this one way too soon, but this other one I can wait till the top because I already have profit. You know what I mean? It just ruins a lot of the stress. So I'm a big proponent of 2. Buy 2 when you mint or whatever.
So much of trading is like not at all learning about, oh, like how do I trade, or how do I watch the markets? How do I graph this? What does my chart look like? So much of it is just like learning how to prevent yourself from being a specific type of retard who loses your money.
Exactly. It's 100% a game against yourself. For sure. It's like figure out like what are your personal cues for like making a bad decision, right?
Did you see that guy who bet like so there was some soccer game going on today. I didn't follow it.
The World Cup final.
Yeah, so there's the big World Cup final going on, and there was some streamer who bet like $50,000 on it, and when the team that wound up winning was down 0-2, they withdrew their bet for 5K.
No.
And then the guy wound up, like the bet wound up turning around, and he would have made like 6 figures or something.
Oh, that's so brutal.
And he did like all of this live on stream.
That's so cringe. Yeah, you got to just fucking go down with the ship. It's like with the Trump, when I bet on Trump winning the election. Did I see the it go from 99.9% chance Trump wins to 0 at 3 a.m.? Yes. But you go down with the ship, okay? You don't fucking pussy out.
Withdraw your bet for 17 cents on the $100.
Yeah, you just take the 0. You know what I'm saying? That's, you got liquidated. Your stops are your liquidations. But anyway, it's okay. There's always more opportunity. That's the one thing I've learned in this world. There's always more opportunity, and I'm sure I'm sure Trump will not only do this NFT. I'm sure he'll do another NFT because it's Trump. I guarantee he'll see this be successful and go, I'm airdrop it. The first Trump airdrop. It's gonna go crazy.
Oh my God.
He's totally gonna airdrop. You gotta like it's already written.
I can't believe. So we were out here and we were like, Donald Trump really needs to learn about like the impact of the internet on his election, because he sort of severely underestimated Twitter and like the effect that having all of his supporters banned off of everything would have on his campaign in 2020.
Yeah.
And I guess one of his advisors told him, "Hey, bro, you've got to figure out this new tech shit." And he was like, "Let's launch an NFT." And we're like, "No, Donald, not like this."
Hey, listen, he's the most successful NFT project the last few months. I'll say that.
I think he's the most successful NFT project that we've had. And like, has anyone else ever sold out a 45,000 NFT mint? No,
I don't think so. Most people, max I've seen is like 20K.
Like, I've never seen anything even remotely close to 40. And how did he come? Is 45 his presidential number?
Oh, that's actually probably what it is. Yes. He probably is the 41st president.
God.
That's so smart.
Fucking guy.
That's so good.
Oh.
Let me see. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure that he's the 45th president. That's so fucking funny. My man is a genius. Like, how can you not like Trump? I gotta say. You got like, that's just like, I don't know. I know that it's like everyone wants to be like, oh, Trump, he's a fascist. Bro, he's hilarious. He's a fucking genius. You got to give him credit. Like, how many times do you have to get bamboozled by the same guy before he's the 45th president? Yeah. How many times do you have to get bamboozled by the same fucking guy before you go, you know what? Maybe he's kind of onto something. Maybe he is smarter than me.
Bro, the biggest question mark that I have about Donald Trump is getting his Twitter account reinstated, and instead of using it, sticking on Truth Social.
Oh, he's that's such a G move though. He's like, listen,
I mean,
you have my entire catalog. It's still being posted. You don't need to worry about me. Go back and read my archives. I love that. But he's probably going to come back. He's gonna before the end of the year. He's going to post on Twitter, I'm sure, before the end of like next year.
I think it's just like he has to stick on Truth Social because why is anyone going? Like, why would anybody use Truth Social if Trump went back to Twitter?
Yeah.
Like, what is the user base? It's literally exclusively like Q-tards and like MAGA boomers who came because of Donald Trump.
Yeah, he has to like double down, but I don't see it lasting. I mean, maybe this is like the
is
Howard
he making
Stern
any revenue from it?
Doubtful. I think it's probably a hole. It's probably like losing money. It's probably like Kanye and Parler. Probably like Kanye and Parler, where he's just like losing money. I wonder if
does Kanye own Parler?
Yeah, he does.
I didn't know that. That's so.
When he got kicked off of Twitter, he bought Parler. When he got banned off of everything, he bought Parler. Yeah.
This is so like.
And people were like,
"Oh, I assumed some like Andrew Torba guy owned Parler," and now it's like, okay, we have like all of these people who have been running.
Oh no,
around.
wait a second. No, actually, they canceled it. He's not going to buy it anymore as of this month. They didn't want to be associated with him, and he also didn't want to be. And he like was like, I'm gonna lose money.
God, dude,
he's like, I'm gonna lose money.
This whole last period of like American politics has been like, I don't even know who is like bad optics for the other one, right? Like all of these people keep getting associated with each other, and it's like, which one of them is the toxic asset?
I honestly can't tell either. It's fucking over. That's why. Like it's a bird's nest of just bullshit. Like also, if we keep getting canceled, at some point the canceling stops working and Kanye's going to be fine again. Like they keep getting mad at Kanye. It's only how many, it's like the Trump effect. How many times do you have to get mad at someone in the
They've
same?
effectively Mel Gibsoned him, right? Like you can't really do anything more than this, right? He's been evil Nazi man, 5 million, like spammed all up and down the media. And yeah, he is just going to kind of phoenix his way out of this.
And guess what? Mel Gibson's back. Passion of the Christ 2 is coming.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's back. They're letting him direct again.
All I know is he's been banned a bajillion times and everybody just seems to like him. So it doesn't really matter that much. And I think Kanye is kind of the same way where like you can have a bunch of like weird libtard people saying, oh, like he's evil and toxic and he's a misogynist and whatever. But like most people are willing to excuse a lot of like ridiculous, maybe somewhat toxic behavior if somebody is both like talented and likable.
Yes. In fact, you kind of expect them to do that. Like, what's the point of being talented and likable if you can't get away with shit?
Yeah. You also like anyone who is talented and likable also realizes that like, oh, I don't have to abide by the same boundaries and restrictions as everyone else. Right. Like exactly. I can kind of freeball this because I have a lot of privilege that normal people don't.
Yeah, exactly. I've been also, as I've been saying from the beginning, it doesn't really matter what Kanye says, like, or does. It's that like, no one's going to care in a year. Like no one has like the moral integrity or like no one has like the, like strong moral, like, I don't know, of conviction anymore or the attention span to like not give a shit about what Kanye's saying in 6 months.
The attention span thing is huge where like the media cycles have gradually gotten to be so rapid that the average person straight up like it's kind of working against them because the average person can't even care long enough for like the full media cycle. Do you remember like the Ukraine war thing where they just kept trying to get people interested, but like literally everyone I know tapped out after like 10 days?
Yeah, no one. I mean, it's only like the most insane, like super fucking, I don't know, like try hard lib types are even caught up on that shit.
And like, if I ask my mom about Kanye, she just goes, I don't care. Like I
don't give a shit.
I don't care about these people. I don't know what's going on. I heard that he did some bad thing. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to think about it.
And that's the thing. Most people just go, like, most people don't know the full detail. Like, we know because we're kind of online and also, like, I like Kanye, right? So I can go, okay, this is what happened step by step. But most people just know he said something bad about the Jews, and that's like the full extent of their knowledge of the subject. He's fine. Like, nothing's gonna, like, his
I think there's also a massive shield just because he's black, too. So, like, the like, racist outrage that people can have for people is... Like, where is it gonna really?
This is a watershed. They're trying to determine right now in the cultural unconscious whether or not black people can be racist against Jewish. This is what we're learning right now. This is the experiment that's being run at full scale.
It seems most people have like effectively bought into the unspoken rule and the unspoken definition of racism here.
Yeah.
And they now think that, theoretically black people can do it, but like, I don't know, man. It seems like I'm not feeling too bad about this black guy doing it, man. If we're gonna be honest.
Yeah, like everyone's trying to, and they really are pushing it. Like they're like, everyone's trying to cancel him. All the companies are jumping ahead, but like, it does seem like most people are like, he's black. He's also Kanye, like, fuck it, who cares? So if Kanye gets away with this, which he probably will, it's like set in stone with precedent. This is like OJ Simpson getting decreed not guilty. This is like it's an OJ moment. We know for a fact
it also opens like the door to this massive Hotep renaissance, right?
It has. I like that though. Shout out to Hotep. Shout out to Yakub for making white people. This
podcast brought to you by Yakub.
So I really want it to be like full Hotep. I have like I like know some of the Hotep lore, and like every once in a while I'll drop it like when I do podcast like appearances on other people's shit. Well, yeah, I can't get full. I can't get full deep Hotep. I'm trying so hard. I've been trying for years.
Getting like a full like African tribal headdress and like just accosting people who look like they might be like a Jewish programmer on the road or something like that, being like, I'm the real Jews.
I want to start wearing fucking like lion stuff, just like lion print and like lion names and shit everywhere, and fucking dashikis. Like a dashiki print, like sweat, like Yeezy sweater would go so hard.
Dude, I think getting some sort of like a lion skin, like a cape or like a robe or something.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
Super obviously fake, and like wearing it around town.
That's such a power play. People. That's such a power play. Oh yeah, no, we're gonna go. I'm going full Hotep. It's time. I'm also in my 30s now. I can just be fucking insane. I can just have like Hotep. I can be a boomer now, but like the millennial boomer, which is like either you become a Hotep, you become an astrology person. You know what I mean? You have to pick like what you're like. You become like all right.
What you're specking into.
Yeah, what do you spec into exactly? What's your secondary job class?
I think this, continuing on to the career change aspects here, I think becoming a sales guy and 50 out of your 52 sales calls you go to and you present as like a normal person, but then for maybe 2 of the sales calls you show up wearing some sort of African tribal wear.
Ooh.
And accusing them of like various forms of like disrespect of your ancestors.
And they had to appease my ancestors by buying this product.
Yeah, like you should literally guilt them into it. Like say the only way that you will ever you have to pay penance by buying my Amazon Web Services Oracle software package for $1.2 million a month.
If I'm ever shilling it to some kind of super lib tech guy, I guarantee I will be going the reparations route. Like how do you got to pay back my ancestors in some way or the other. Otherwise, you're not gonna be square. You have not atoned for your whiteness, bro.
Start lifting again and like jack your bench up to like 405-ish. And then, like as he's like reviewing your contract, give him a contract, but like you've rewritten it and the price is like twice what you agreed on. And he like gets to this part and you put your hand on his shoulder really firmly and you just look over at him.
Yeah, sounds right. Yeah, I think this is a good price. That's what I thought, brother. Yeah, that'd be sick. Start speaking with like just fucking like Black Panther cadence.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
All right, brother.
I'm realizing that every place that I have talked to and interviewed at, I've been going, well, I don't know if this might be a good point. What time are we at? 30 minutes in?
No, we're like if you include the other one, we're 40 something. Like 45. Push it like 5-10 minutes and then you can, or we can just cut this out, whatever.
I've gotten really good at just cutting it all out now.
Yeah, there you go. I told you just gotta fucking just delete. Whoop.
Yeah, it's
gone.
I made a shortcut too, so I can just cut stuff out, and it like automatically fills over everything, and it like crossfades the 2 ends together, and
powerful.
Everything's all neat and tied up. And a lot of the times too, I found like when I was doing the Marie stuff, she would say a word that she just didn't mean to. Like you'd be going through and she would have a sentence and it would be like a normal sentence, but in the middle of the sentence, she would say like boat or something or like some other misused word. And you can just flawlessly take that out and nobody can even tell she said it.
Interesting. But is that like ruining her vibes though? Like, is her vibe speaking like
I like to think that I made decisions exclusively with Marie's best branding interests at heart when I was editing those, but I don't know.
Well, the question is because is she more likable if she has flawed? If she's flawed, does that make her more likable? You know?
I wonder how many people who actually like are like Marie cells are going to be listening to the podcast with Marie.
Absolutely zero.
Because she never like promotes it, and I get the sense that she might not want them listening to it.
The Marie cells don't need to be over here. That's for us. If there's a division between the two, and also she's gonna catch heat. Also, our followers don't need them. There's a little bit of a. I know for a fact my followers would be like, yo, what are these fucking people over here doing? I have like the more like the people who like think highly of themselves somehow. I have a like more pretentious following than you do, and certainly more than she does.
My following is they're gonna get really confused here soon because I am, I'm getting that feeling I get right when I go from one posting chapter to another, and I have like a month of just sort of like feeling it out and like doing random bullshit, and so I think we're gonna maybe step away from the viral gender takes genre here and start being a little. I've lowered my quality filter. So I got shadow banned, which like fucked my engagement horribly on everything. Like as soon as I did that, the Hitler tweet, the Sam Hitler one. Yeah. So I got locked out of my account for that and I came back in and I assumed because I appealed it and they overturned the appeal, I was like, oh, well, this is awesome. Like they overturned, which means that I'm not going to have the shadow ban that comes back because everyone, when they get locked out of their account and they come back in, they get a strike, and that strike like fucks them somehow. They have it's basically 1 month of all of your engagement is nerfed. You can't name search them. They get a few other like weird content debuffs. I assumed that by appealing the tweet and winning, I was going to avoid all of this. I was horribly wrong. I still got all of that stuff tagged onto my account, so I can. I can still post and stuff, and they're still doing okay-ish, but
they're not doing like all of Twitter okay. Like they're in like your sphere,
right? Yeah, that's the thing is I basically can't like all of my followers are going to see my stuff still, but they are not being shown to people who don't follow me or who are not connected to the accounts that are like intimately connected to mine.
Now, unfortunately, you have a big enough following that's still largely like let your tweets bang, but yeah,
right. Like
you're stuck in your own.
But it's all like
you're stuck in Lucas sphere. Yeah, you're stuck in Lucas sphere.
I'm posting to exclusively my own audience, and there's no chance to really grab people from outside of there. And I've been thinking about just locking because as long as it's going to be stuck within the Lucas sphere anyway, like why not just lock? It gives me a
you could lock,
right?
It also lets you do more
for the smaller numbers, right?
True. It also lets you like do more when you're locked. Like as far as like content wise.
Yeah.
It is pretty funny. Then you get the Landshark thing. You get the Landshark vibe of like having a big locked account and people start posting your screenshots. That's always fun. And you can have like a forbidden Lucas.
The forbidden Lucas.
Yeah, like with the forbidden Landshark.
Somebody wanted to make a bunch of deleted Lucas posts, which I think would be awesome because I literally delete 90% of my content.
Yeah, that's the same thing. That's like the forbidden accounts are like usually like the fleet, the deleted tweets.
Yeah. Because like a lot of the deleted ones are something like I'll be in a group chat and somebody will say something and I will respond basically to that tweet, but just or to their message, but on the timeline. And I just put it out there and then I send my tweet to the group chat as a response. And then I get my 6 laugh reacts and then I delete the tweet. And I think, why did you delete this tweet, Lucas?
It was. But the only problem with you locking, does it? I guess you can't. You're already nerfed anyway. It doesn't really matter, I guess.
Right. That's exactly what I was saying. Is because all the tweets are only being shown to like my followers anyway, and they're not breaking out past that. Why not just lock? Like it's going to be the same engagement wise.
It also makes a little more diehard fan base because they're like, I'm inside the lock.
But also because the nerf turned down the numbers so much. Like it used to be like really rare that I would post anything that would get like under 500 likes, and now it's like the floor has gone down to like 100 or something like that.
Oh, interesting.
We're like I could literally just go and post like chair or like something like that. And I would get like 150 or 200 likes or something. Now it's like I can post something that's like actually okay and it'll still do like 80. So it's a very, very different playing field now. But I think that
but you get re-events. You're going inside the cocoon. Don't think of it as luck. You're going in. You're chrysalis, and you're gonna. Yeah,
I was just gonna hide for like a month, right? Until
exactly,
because the strikes all wear off. And Elon also said that he's going to be rolling out some sort of an update that shows everybody.
Yes, I also like I like that he's doing more temporary strikes. Also, like delete the post more than the account. I think those are better policies in general. I'm still largely bullish on his takeover so far.
I think there's definitely going to be some weird shit that he does, and this example of no cross linking or whatever, that's that's certainly an example of the weird shit that he's going to do. But
he's certainly going to do weird shit. Yeah, he does weird shit with his other companies, so I'm kind of not surprised that he's going to do weird shit. But I do think for being a poster, it'll be fun. I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to talk ahead. We jump ahead to a year from now. I'm like, fuck it, Elon, this motherfucking Antichrist.
Yeah, anyway. I know. That's I'm. Well, every now and then I'll post. Like, I don't know if you saw when he was banning people for the plane stuff, and I was basically like, I don't care. Like, this is fine. Why do we need to post people's personal?
Yeah, for doxing. No, you should ban people for doxing.
And everyone, well, it's not his location. It's like the plane, and it could be a whole airport and all.
No, fuck you. I would block you too. I'd ban you too permanently. There's also his family, right? Like they were doxing his family's plane, right?
Yeah, I mean, my stance is basically that we and like this isn't in any law anywhere, right? Like there's no law that prevents you from posting this stuff, and everyone's saying, "Oh, it's legal to post," and it's like I don't really like. It's legal to dox people, right? Mm-hmm. Like the reason journalists can dox people is because there's no law against it. You can take someone's personal like phone number, their address, and as a journalist, you can just like
post it,
toss it out there, and there's no.
Was Taylor Lorenz the one who did it? Is this why she got banned?
She did it to a bunch of people.
Like, well, no, she did it to other people, but did she do it to Elon? Because I know she got banned.
I don't
like today or yesterday.
I didn't follow any of the. I just saw that he came out and he was like, "Oh yeah, like and he gave his rationale for why he was doing it." My basic stance, like I didn't really care about what was going on with the Elon jet situation. I cared about like how does this impact me as like the anonymous meme rabbit. And my thought was, oh, like it's kind of epic that he's actually willing to like try and because before people could dox people and you could report it for doxing and it would be like 6 weeks before he would take it down. So it's like effectively doing nothing. Yeah. So just like the act of saying, oh, like I'm actually going to try and like not have this be a thing is kind of
I mean, like if you can't do hate speech because it's a call for like it's like violence, whatever, you shouldn't be able to dox people's locations. That's literally a call for violence. It's an explicit call for violence. Like, what's the point of doxing? That was my argument. Is like there's a whole side of the aisle here who's saying, oh, like if you're going to be saying this about like the LGBT people, that's hate speech, which is a call to violence, and people are going to get killed over this, but they will not be killed by me revealing their real time location and things like, that they have done that I dislike. Like, it's like I want to reveal your location because I want the horde of people. I'm not the one who's I'm just revealing your location. I'm not the one at fault. I didn't pull the trigger. It's just fucking it's cringe. It's like they
like either you or I, if we had like a coworker who we really disliked, we could like make up some ridiculous story about them and post their personal information all over shit, and like we could very likely get people to like mail them shit or like otherwise like snoop into their lives and fuck with them. And we don't have like enormous platforms here, right?
Yeah, you don't need that big of a platform to like fuck with someone's life.
That's what it's really, really insane to me. So like if I don't know, like I could give less of a shit about like Elon specifically and the jet stuff, but it's just like, yeah, I'm going to be on the side of anyone who says that maybe we should post less about people's like real time location. I mean,
I'm like pretty anti-doxing in general. Like I don't even like counter dox. I mean, depending on how like severe it was, I'm like, I just think that like that's just not cool.
It also gets really weird though because as soon as you dox someone, you effectively like you're really opening Pandora's box. As soon as you either dox somebody, propagate a dox, or endorse the doxing of somebody else, like you kind of paint like a massive target on your back.
Yeah, because anyone could just like go, oh, you think that's okay? All right, cool. I'm putting you out there now.
Exactly. Yeah,
and like they
you're
would be
basically saying
justified
like
too.
I am willing to disrespect like the one rule of e-life. It's like the effective equivalent of like murdering somebody, right? Like once you become a murderer, everybody stops being like, oh well, I have to really respect this person and their
Yeah,
wishes
you're
and
just
their
the murderer
personal
now.
space, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a you. Yeah, no, you just don't need to get involved in that. Just like being outside the doxing sphere, like you're safe as long as you don't start doxing people. Like people, I mean, like not 100% because some people can like come after you for being by being like just dickheads. But like as long as you kind of stay out of it, people will either defend you or blah blah blah, and you can kind of you're at least the victim at the very least, right? You don't want to like once you start like hurling doxes back, now you got their fucking horde versus your horde. It's a tough situation.
This was, I think, one of the most retarded things that Radfem Hitler ever did, just like strategically, was when that Chadicus guy got doxxed. She like reposted it and said like it's good that he got doxxed, like he was a scumbag or something. And I forget what he did. I think it was like
I don't know who that is, but yeah.
But when she came out and like endorsed the doxing of this guy, I was like, that's a really fucking bad idea because everybody knows who you are. And
yes.
like there's a lot of people who you're like relying on like their good faith, and you there's like a lot of
people don't like
possible leaks.
Yeah, there's a lot of possible like there's too many holes in your ship, and then even if like a lot of people know that you're like doing kind of a bit, a lot of people don't like you, right? You don't want to be the target of anyone's end. Like even like I have a fairly like I don't know. I have a fairly like no one really comes after me online. I have a few people who like want to be annoying and shitty on the timeline, but everyone after a certain point gets that. But like you don't want like, but like if I would try to avoid personally like those kind of altercations because it's so easy. If you really are motivated, you can like just as easily fuck me over, or once you have a certain amount of like holes in your ship, you got to just stay away from it. You got to just like I'm not involved. That is none of my business. You don't need anyone motivated enough to like dox you and ruin your life. That's what I say.
No, you don't need to be pushing him towards that.
Yeah. Stay away from that shit.
It's also generally just like not a super great idea to be like a very like forward facingly abrasive person, it seems. Like making your personality being like lay epic girl boss who like triggers everyone is like I guess funny maybe, but not without substantial risk.
Yeah, I mean, definitely like from the girl perspective, it's definitely worse than from the guy perspective, right? Because like if you're pissing off a bunch of girls, they're not really going to do much. They might like spread rumors about you, I guess, but they don't really like.
Well, girls have really limited pathways to like actually hurt you, right? Because like every guy who's ever been fucked on the internet has basically gotten fucked over because they DM'd some girl who leaked their information. Yes. And if you just don't give your information to women, then you're kind of immune, right? And they can go and they can buzz around in their little group chats and do whatever they want, but like they don't have the autism to actually like dig and dox people, and they don't really have the like the social engineering capacity to direct themselves to like send an agent out to talk to you to like get this information if they don't. Whereas guys will coordinate and they will take their female friends and have them like go information mine some guy or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. They'll like, hey, flirt with this person, find out this information, da, da, da. Yeah. And if you don't, once you get enough, like the wrong, like psycho of a dude mad, they have nothing better to do than to like legit stalk you. Like every girl online I know has a stalker, at least one, you know what I mean? Like a legitimate stalker, like tries to find out their real location, tries to find, like, you don't need that. You don't need that in your life.
Dude, the most annoying people to me are the guys who like have a stalker that's like 1/10 the severity of a girl, and they like insist that, oh, this is like I'm really scared, like I'm totally genuinely off put by this female internet stalker I have, and it's like,
shut up.
It's so fucking tiresome, dude. It's literally like when the MRAs complain about like women raping men, and you're just like,
like, you shut up, dude.
Yeah, like it's just so fucking. No, it is definitely a thing of like, okay, well, are we really like we're still going to be doing this hyper egalitarianism in like 2023 basically now? Like we're going to be pretending, what is she actually going to do, right? What is this female stalker going to do? And 100% of the guys I know who are like worried about this are either like college or like unemployed, where it's like, she's not even going to get you fired, bro. Like, she's not going to get you fired. She's not going to show up at your house with like a gun or something. Like, what the fuck is the problem? She's going to message you like weird schizo shit that you either ignore or like get guilted into engaging with. And then she's going to like threaten to like hurt herself. And
the worst thing that's going to happen is, she might threaten to hurt herself, or she's going to start posting on her fucking locked account about your girlfriend. Like that's about like she'll like, and it's never like they do that publicly. It's always like, cause they don't want to like show that they're like hung up by some dude who like denied them. Right. So it's going to be on her like 3-follower locked account, where she's like, his new girlfriend's ugly anyway. And that's it. That's like the full extent of what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've met multiple, especially because in the right wingosphere, like a lot of these girls have like guns, and I've met a few of them who will like post a picture of her like at the range or something, or her like posing with it and be like, I'm seriously scared that this like militant girl is gonna come and like fucking shoot up my house. It's like, dude.
Shut up, dude. First of all, I'm not convinced. I can't. I need this to be verified, and I don't really want to have the opportunity to verify this, but I'm still not convinced that I couldn't disarm a girl before she shoots me. I just don't think. I just genuinely don't think they would pull the trigger fast enough. I think they would hesitate if we were in a situation where it's like maybe no. I just can't figure out a situation unless she like got the jump on me and was already ready. I just feel like I could disarm her, or like take a non-fatal gunshot wound to the shoulder or something, and then disarm her.
Yeah, that's one of those situations where I wouldn't super want to be testing my wits.
I don't want to test it out, but
it just seems so unlikely that it would ever happen that I'm like, dude.
Yeah, no, they're not going to come after you. Girls are not. I mean, like girls are. They've done studies. Men and women have similar levels of aggression. It's just the type of aggression is just vastly different in how it's displayed. And
online women really they don't have the ability. Like, if an e-girl doesn't have your personal information, she's kind of shit out of luck.
Yeah.
She's kind of shit. Like, she has to be like an extremely high agency outlier. And like, there are some who can like obsessively dig through all of your posts and stuff, but like, it never really seems to extend past digging through like the fullest extent of your account history. It's always like, oh, I read 100% of his Instagram posts dating all the way back to like 2011. It's never like, I read, and based on his Instagram posts, I linked this to his other social media and I found his address, right? Like, they never hop off platform.
Yeah, exactly. Like they never do like the fucking GeoGuessr guy and go, I know this corner's in this place. And none of them, the girls don't have the geography for that anyway. You're never going to see, what's that quote? What's that meme quote? Why are there no the same reason that there's no female Jack the Ripper is the same reason why there's no female Einstein or whatever the fuck it is. But the same reason there's no female fucking GeoGuessr guy. It's the same reason. It's the same.
The female GeoGuessr guy is Caroline from the FTX blow up.
She is probably that's probably the closest.
That's the closest you get to it, right?
Yeah, and even then she's just like.
Well, even then, you get a girl who theoretically has these skills, and she's like, "Oh, I should use these to make money instead of be like a retard on the internet," right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't.
Whereas, like with guys, there are so many fucking guys who have like an extreme level of technical aptitude in any given area, and their thought is like, "I'm gonna become more like technically autistic." It's never like it somehow never ventures off to money, right? And like video games, video games are the tool of this.
You're never gonna find a female GeoGuessr for the same reason you're never gonna find like a top speedrunner. Like speedrunning is like the most extreme levels of like repetitive autism you'll ever see in your life. And like you ever watch stream, like I watch speedrunning videos now because I'm just like impressed by the levels of just like pure time wasted.
I watched a speedrunning, like at some point I got suggested like a viral Halo speedrunning thing, and I watched this like 4-minute video in which they basically like they would shoot one specific pixel and it would like warp the entire map and like launch them through these walls, and they would just like break the entire game engine through this like pixel perfect clicking that they did. It was really insane.
Bro, they do this to like every game, and it's like so you start to think to yourself, how do people figure this out? And it's unironically just hours of just like testing every fucking like nook and cranny of the game until something breaks, and they go, "Oh, can I exploit this?" And it's like, what, like just thousands of hours of just, and like because like the best speedruns are for games that have been out for like 30 years. So like they have like. And like games that are like speedrun really commonly can now are like games from 5-10 years ago, and it like continues that way. And it's just like, I don't know. Like, there's no woman on the earth. I mean, unless there's like a super autistic like the Rift girl
There's
or something.
Probably like 4 women on the earth who can do it, but it's one of those like I don't know, female software.
It's probably a good thing though. They don't need to be doing that. Girl. Well, I feel like the closest are like those girls who are really good at like knitting or something. Like those girls who can like knit fucking anything. I would
love to see like a based trad, like a knit off.
Yeah. Knitting like is
they sit there with their and they're like, okay, you got to go 20 stitches across, and we're going to see who can spit out 18 inches of scarf first. You get like what's the prize? They get like 50 kilograms of like organic flour if they win.
But when you look at those like old looms, like those old looms that women used to use, that's peak female autism. Like there's no universe where a guy's doing that. You know what I mean? Like to that level. I mean, they could do that if a guy really wanted to, but there's not like, well, there had to have been a female autism outlet back in the day. And it was certainly like those looms that those chicks used to use.
Yeah, no, like definitely. Like a lot of the little crafty stuff is like, I don't know. I know so many girls who it gets incorporated in their day, and it's not like a hobby necessarily. It's just something that they work in when otherwise they would be feeling like a negative emotion, right?
Yeah.
It's very strange. Like it basically acts as like a direct substitute for some other bad thing that they do with their time, and they put it in, and it acts as sort of like a mood elevator.
Yes.
Like, and that's it's not in the traditional hobby type way where you say, "Oh, I am going to go and I'm going to like make extra time and not shift things around to do this."
Oh, true. Actually, yeah, they do it like in between, like between doing other stuff.
Yeah, like you can have like somebody like a mom who literally just gave birth. Her day is so fucking packed, right? Like she's always doing something, and you can get her into knitting. And somehow she will still get all of the same exact things done, but now she will produce like one baby's garment of clothing per day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's that's a really good point, actually. Yeah, they not to do a fucking pun, but they sew it into the rest of their day. Yeah, no, that's actually, yeah, like and like guys definitely don't do that. Guys will just like ruin the rest of their day by doing their one hobby.
Yeah, they literally will stay up until like 4 a.m. every day trying to like learn this new thing, and they will.
No, that's me, bro. That's me with like
something else off. It's going to be like they push off like things that they otherwise maybe should have been doing.
Yeah, that's literally me. It's so frustrating. That's like me with chess or something, or whatever the fuck. Like right now, it's with chess. But it could be like, I don't know, tarot, juggling. I've had a million hobbies like this where I just like use it to like overwrite other things I don't feel like doing.